that I want to get right. I live in perpetual fear of the day that somebody says, well, that theory that you've got about Saturn, here's the reason why it's all wrong. And I have to go, oh my goodness, you're right. So I prefer to be careful in terms of my approach to this. Always happy to do interviews about it. But, when new information comes its way, and the new edition was triggered by the work of Peter Mark Adams, Game of Saturn, I felt it had to be updated with that information. It was too good to not do that.
Yeah.
But as I'm going along, because of what's going on with COVID, I think possibly I'll see how things will manifest themselves. But the idea that you've got a pharmaceutical dictatorship, which is a manifestation of Sodom and Gomorrah in the modern age, might be an area that I could be producing something in the next 6 months or so.
Yes. I would love to talk to you again if that does come to fruition.
I'll let you know. Yeah.
Yes, please do. This has been just really awesome, dense, full of important information. You draw a nice through line through a lot of my favorite subject areas. Just a real pleasure. Again, SaturnDeathCult.com is the website. The book by the same name is a real masterpiece. Keep doing what you do and take care, man.
Great. Thanks. And hopefully not too much waffle, but I've thoroughly enjoyed it.
Well, how about that? No waffle worries at all. Troy McLaughlin bringing the heat after 7 long years. Covering so many threads that make me feel far better equipped today to have a high-level conversation than I was back then anyway. Mysteries of water, ether physics, symbolism, cosmology, the electric universe, catastrophism, magic, and the game of Saturn. Really good stuff. Very thankful he was open to doing this again, and really glad that Peter Mark Adams' work made a lengthy appearance in the new edition. This is definitely a kind of sweet spot for me. Grand, unified conspiracy, spanning time and space. If you are attracted to a perspective like this and then don't filter the issues of today through that lens, then I think you're doing it wrong. Abuse of power from people in positions of authority looking down at the rest of us is pretty much a perpetual villain no matter where you look in the human story. It's a bit like Cloud Atlas, actually. A very dependable motif, but for some reason we get too close to something and we just forget all that, or we think it's going to be different this time, or we think eugenics is dead. So many people have told me that over this last year. It's very frustrating because it's just an assumption based on what they'd like to be true. It's not really based on anything. It makes it convenient to trust people like Bill Gates and Anthony Fauci and Pfizer, but that's all it is a thought convenience. But Troy's the man. Very interesting stuff here. Glad we could get outside of the box a little bit, get away from that dominant narrative. I know we're dealing with some pretty important stuff these days, but unless there's new information to report or someone has a solutions-based angle on it all, like Pam Popper, I don't see the point in going over the same old story and outrage again and again. You turn on pretty much anything these days, and within 5 minutes, you're going to hear vaccines and viruses. I think I'd rather be talking to people like Troy right now, and I hope you agree. If you liked the first hour, in the second hour plus show, we talked about Saturn's madhouse, additional Saturnian symbolism, the Silver Age, the rise of the Blue Bloods, the gods' industry, Sodom and Gomorrah and the drug trade, that's pretty interesting, and the serial killer motif, MKUltra and dark agendas there. Troy certainly knows his stuff. He is quite dedicated, and I hope you come over to the Plus Party if you haven't already, but I've said it all before, and that is the show.